Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Cosplay Crunch. Each week, we sit down to talk about all things cosplay, including personal experiences, useful tips and advice, horror stories and hot takes, and sometimes the latest news and drama. I am your host, Zavage Cosplay, and this week on the podcast, we have the illustrious Rumpelstilt Seam. Hello.
Hello.
How
What's
do you
up?
feel to be here, Rumpel?
Chaotic and cursed. Jesus.
We spent the last 30 minutes troubleshooting audio, video, connectivity issues,
Google Chrome.
Google Chrome, Firefox.
Yeah, so
Oh my God.
man.
Oh, I'm happy that we finally got it to work, and I'm happy
Yes.
that you're here because when I knew I was starting this podcast, one of the first people I had to have on was you. And a big reason for that was your story times in the car, but we're not talking about that till later. We're gonna hold that bit because that's important.
There's so
I
many.
want to so many. I want to start with actually learning a bit more about you and your early days of cosplay. I want to understand like how you found your way into the cosplay community and crafting in general because I don't know that at all.
All right, are you ready for this? Because this is the cursed episode.
Are you ready for
Episode
this?
6.
I
Episode
don't
6.
think she can handle this.
Yeah. Okay, so how I got into costuming. I started sewing when I was 14 because I was at a garage sale and I saw a sewing machine and I was like, this is what we do now. So I started sewing really shitty clothes.
Wait.
Like,
What was the sewing machine? Do you remember?
it was also cursed. It was a front-loading Singer. I don't remember the exact model, but it weighed like 20 pounds to heft up on the table, and it was a front-loading bobbin.
Uh-huh.
Probably from like the 60s or 70s. Like, it was an old sewing machine.
Oh my God, that's what you started with?
Yeah, and it hated me and I hated it. So it was a mutual hatred. But what got me into cosplay, and for those of you that are listening that are not from the South and not from the Bible Belt, there's this thing called Vacation Bible School.
No.
Yes.
Not
And
Vacation
basically,
Bible School.
yes. And there was this one Vacation Bible School where it was like Nintendo themed or video game themed, and usually they didn't let the volunteers dress up. They only had specific like mascot characters. But they're like, you know what, whatever, y'all all dress up. So I was like, sure. I went to the thrift store and I found this god awful pink prom dress from the 80s. Okay, big poofy sleeves.
What?
A brooch that kind of resembled Peach's brooch.
No.
And this is the best part. A Dolly Parton wig.
From where?
Party City. And a Snow White tiara.
Where did you get the tiara from?
I don't know. Like, I found it somewhere. I think I also got it from the thrift store. Like,
Oh my God.
The dress, by the way, like, clearly did not fit me. It came up to, like, my mid-calves. Like, it wasn't even long enough, okay?
Did you fix it? Did you, like, change it?
No!
Wait, so what was the sewing machine for, then?
I told you I hated it. Well, also, it was hem too short. It was, like, cut, so I couldn't add to it. There was no petticoat underneath it. Like, it was just this ugly pink 80s prom dress.
Okay.
I will send you a picture of me before I got the wig in it.
Wait,
with my natural hair that I, like, styled. I look like Daisy in a pink dress.
That should be the album cover art.
Yeah, like, it's cursed. It's the actual costume, like, with the wig is even more cursed, but I have tried so hard to find it online. And, you know, they say the internet is eternal and forever, but I cannot find photos of this anywhere.
Oh my God, that's such a shame.
And I'm mad.
That's so upsetting. I think everyone should have photos of their very first cosplay. Yeah, although like, I use the word cosplay loosely when it comes to this for you because it sounds like it was more of a conglomeration of madness.
It was cursed, is what it was. But the kids enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it, and so I was like, I kind of like doing this. Let's do this again. And so I was one of those people that did start off with more closet cosplay, even though I made stuff, but that's also because I was self-taught and I was really only making regular clothes and was like, wasn't really comfortable trying to make costumes yet.
Sure.
Because I wasn't super knowledgeable at the time. So, like, after that, it was still just mainly, like, Amazon, Mod Podges and Closet Cosplay, and then finally, like, my first made costume was a Lolita fashion inspired Loki. And
Oh.
at the time, I was like, yeah, boy, this is hella impressive. But then going back, I'm like, baby, no, what were you thinking? Like, what the
Did you
fuck?
did you apply to the fashion shows with
No,
your
I did
Loki?
not. So I was not that intrepid. Now, also, mind you, like, fledgling, barely understood what wigs were, didn't had any idea what makeup was. So, like, yeah, it was a very fledgling. Like, I think for the time, baby me, it was like, okay, that's great. Um, but otherwise, no, it fell apart after like 2 wears.
Oh
So,
my gosh. So that was your first costume that you made, the
yes,
Loki
officially.
inspired Lolita cord. Okay.
Yeah. And
So I
then,
guess
yeah.
well, throughout that time, like when you were started with your Princess Peach fantasy and you worked through like a series of like, kind of put together bought elements for costumes and then you made your first, like throughout that time, were you very involved with like the cosplay community like we know it today? Or was it kind of just like you and
No.
like your maybe one or two
Yeah,
friends or
absolutely not. It was me and my 2 weirdo homeschool friends, that we were all autistic and had no idea. Like, that was the vibe. That was what we did. Like again, I have pictures and they are so cringe, but I cherish them because I'm like, this is it.
uh,
Um,
oh my
and we
god.
would we would go to Anime Matsuri.
Yeah.
Because you didn't
As you
know.
well, if you're in Houston,
Um,
did you grow up in Houston actually?
yeah. So
Yeah.
we're
If you're
located
in
in Houston.
Houston,
So
yeah.
actually the first one that we went to, and again we didn't know any better, was when it was in the Woodlands at the Waterway.
Oh.
I started cosplaying in 2011, so it was probably 2012 or 2013.
Okay, it was either 2012 or 2014. It was not 2013. But anyway, it was
Okay.
in the Woodlands. So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was like
It
that
was
was
in
well before that was in the ancient era in the
it was in
terms
the
of
ancient era.
cosplay.
Yeah. And we didn't even pay to get in. We just lobby cons, as you do.
As you do.
And then then we evolved into using my best friend's parents' hotel points to go to Anime Fest and ACON. So
Live. Oh my gosh.
we stayed for free at all the hotels because her dad at the time worked for GE, so he was constantly flying and staying in hotels. So he like
Oh my god.
racked up a bunch of points. So we were like,
So you were staying at all these conventions for free with your friends, and then what was the point at which you feel like you actually like started to form a connection with the cosplay community at large? Like, do you know like when that happened, or was it a
yeah,
gradual
um,
transition?
cosplay contest. We watched our first one at ACON. I forget which one. Like the first one we went to. I don't remember which one specifically. It was in like 2015, I think. And we, were there. We were like, yeah, let's go watch it. So I watched the cosplay contest and was like, oh, whoa. And you can dress up and go on stage and get shit. What?
Free shit, yeah. Unless it's
Like,
WeebCon, then you don't get nothing.
yeah. And then that's when I finally got brave. I was like, okay, I guess I could try to like make something and go on stage, sure. Because at
Hmm.
the time I was also still professionally dancing. So I was like,
Yeah. Wait. So I want to
so
talk about that too. Like,
yeah.
have you ever? Because like you were professionally trained as a dancer. Like, what kind of dance did you learn?
It was primarily classical ballet, but also modern. So like
Have you
top tier.
ever?
Mhm.
That's crazy. Have you ever like thought about incorporating that into a cosplay? Like
I
whether or
absolutely
not?
have, actually.
Uh-huh. Wait. So talk
Like
about
my
that.
yeah. Okay, so I won't go to like the very I have some contest like shit show horror stories for you, if you would like to hear them. But the first time
Love.
I incorporated like dance into it, I think it was 2017. I went to ComicPalooza, and 2 weeks before the convention, I was like, I'm gonna enter a skit and I'm gonna fucking dance. So
A
2 weeks.
Comicpalooza?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Oh
I
my gosh,
shit
love.
out this Jack Skellington costume based on No Flutter's artwork. 2 weeks.
Okay.
Also a
That
little
okay.
curse.
So when you said Jack Skellington costume combined with classical ballet, I was very perturbed in my head in that moment.
Oh, wait,
But
wait, no,
no
no, like,
flutter.
pull up your pants for a second. Like, there's more. Hold on to your butt. Uh, I not only choreographed this entire dance to Jack's Lament, I also sang it and recorded myself.
Okay, not live vocals though. It was like
No, it was
pre-recorded.
recorded.
Okay. Okay.
I literally did this like fancy schmancy musical number on stage at ComicPalooza. Second to technically third time ever competing.
Uh-huh.
And I got best skit. And like it was one of those like I came up, I did the thing, they left, and everyone was like, "Who is she? Who was that?"
So you slayed
It's
the
like
children at ComicPalooza is what you're telling
yeah,
me.
yeah, basically. Um I say that. I'm joking. There was another skit group there that actually like absolutely slayed. They did a rat battle between Marvel and DC characters. Unless I'm mixing up my years because I am also late reading at this point, so I don't know. But I wasn't the only like amazing skit. But I think that was probably one of the first times I'd actually seen someone like sing and dance on stage at
Mhm.
Palooza. But yeah, no. I did that a few more times throughout the years until I decided I wanted to focus more heavily on like the craftsmanship side of things and doing walk-ons. But I've kind of started moving back into the skit side of things
You sure
as
have.
of last year.
And
So
Korok Cruelty.
yeah, yeah.
And Korok Cruelty.
And core cruelty.
Okay, so you have incorporated your dance into cosplays, but maybe not since I've known you. I don't think I've seen
Yeah,
anything that had
no,
like
I
heavily.
haven't done a dance skit since
Would
we
would
met.
you consider it
I
again?
am actually planning one.
It's a secret. Don't tell anyone if you're listening to this
Y'all get
podcast.
to hear it first. I'm doing
Oh
a
my
dance
god.
skit at Comicpalooza this year.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so exciting. Wait, okay. So honestly, also that's kind of interesting because I feel like Comicpalooza. So what you did from the description sounds like it's much more geared towards an anime convention, like masquerade
Yes,
contest, not like a
correct.
Comic Con like
No, not
cosplay
at all.
contest.
And I mean, and Comicpalooza's, I don't want to say defense, but just like definitively, it's not your typical. It is more like a masquerade than like in YCC or what you would
Hmm.
typically see at a Comic Con for a contest because they do allow skits and they do allow live mics. So it's formatted more like a masquerade that you would see at an anime convention. And that's actually there again what I was more familiar with because going to A-Con and A-Fest and Anime Matsuri, that's what I had been seeing up to this point and went, yeah, I should try that.
Right. No, that makes sense. Okay, so pulling it back into the
Yeah.
original trail that we were on,
Yeah.
you went to your first costume contest at A-Con with your friends. You saw the wonderfulness on the stage, and you're like, "Oh my god,
Yep.
I can make something like that."
Yep. The
So
other highlight, I gotta interject. The other highlight for that is we assisted in a lesbian marriage proposal.
at the contest, like on the stage.
So, what happened? Um, again, this was either A-Con or A-Fest. I can't remember because we'll start with A, and it was a long time ago. But during the halftime, you know how they have like little fun stuff? Well, they had this Rose cosplayer from Doctor Who come up.
Okay.
And they came up or whatever and they started talking and then they called their partner up on stage who was dressed as 10. And at the time, Doctor Who was a big thing and like spoilers, but it was right after like the episode where Rose gets stuck in a different like place and she can never come back and like Rose and 10 are shipped. And so they were all on stage or whatever, and it got quiet and they were talking. And he the one dressed as the doctor was like basically saying how much they love Rose, this, that, and the other. And then of course my dumbass, while it's quiet, yells from the audience, "Taylor, you
Were you supposed to say that?
know."
You
And
were a
then literally
menace.
right after that, they get down on one knee and they propose.
So it wasn't planned. It was not pre-planned.
No,
Well,
me yelling at them was not planned.
their proposal might have been pre-planned, but like you
Yes,
yelling and then that happening in
correct.
sequence. Oh my god, was that the gag of like the whole contest? It
I
probably
believe it
was.
was. Yeah, probably. Like, we were just normies in the audience, so we didn't know, but I'm pretty sure that probably was.
That's freaking insane. Okay, so that
Anyway, circling
happened.
back.
But so after that contest, you were like, oh, I'm inspired. I'm like, in my mind's eye is opened and I want to
Yes.
make some type of costume like that.
Yes.
So
Basically.
so when you started out taking like maybe a more craftsmanship forward approach to your costumes, how did that push you into the community overall in Texas? Was it just entering contests and meeting people, or was it
Oh,
like
yeah,
online
it
or
was entering contests in general. So again, I guess ground zero was Skellington year, which was 2017, I think.
okay.
Yeah, it was 2017 because 2018 I did Esmeralda, and then 2019 is the year we don't speak of, but we will in this podcast because it's fucking great.
Wait, what happened? What happened? What
So
happened? What happened?
we'll get there. So
Okay.
2017, actually, most of the like core friends that I have in the community, I met either in the green room or in line for prejudging for the contest of ComicPalooza 2017.
Oh, do I know
Yeah.
any of them?
Um. Maybe I mean my handler that was with me guesting at ComicPalooza was one of them, but
Oh,
otherwise
okay.
I don't think you have, simply because a lot of them kind of stopped going to cons from the pandemic, obviously.
Oh, gotcha.
And
Okay.
so you will probably meet them eventually as they're starting to like come back to cons. Um
I truly
but
feel
yeah,
like the
most
pandemic was like a cultural reset for conventions because I feel like there was like, yeah, Andrew walking in the background. Don't mind the
yeah,
cameo appearances. It happens. There'll be cats too.
the pizza
I
rat.
feel like no, literally Pizza Rat. I feel like there was like the before, obviously in the general in the world, there's like the before pandemic, after pandemic, but with cosplay and the convention scene specifically, I feel like it's even
Mhm.
more pronounced because there were so many cosplayers that literally when they took a break for like the year and a half, 2 years
They
maybe,
just dip. They're just like, ah, and they're gone.
they just disappeared,
Vacated.
girl. And
For
then
real.
literally, no, literally, and then there were a bunch of new people that came in 2022 that had, or 2020 2021, like that just
Yeah.
showed up. And I was like, I guess some people use that time to stop, and then some people use that time to like enter into the cosplay community. And I feel like there's people like us where like, I don't know, during the first part of the pandemic, I just didn't make anything. I was like,
Yeah.
I am so not motivated. And then some people like went balls to the wall and just made a ton of stuff when they
Oh
were at
yeah, I
home.
mean, I personally was chronically ill the whole time, so I didn't make a lot, and it was like, that's
Oh,
fine, cons aren't around because I'm dying, literally, so it's fine, I can't go. Uh, but, I mean, not that, but something else that could be touched on is how, we're just completely deviating from whatever you started on, but
it's yeah,
the
no,
novice category. The novice
huh?
category in competitions has completely changed.
Oh, I
When I
know.
started in 2017 and before, your novice category was people making costumes out of cardboard and
Yes,
like Elmer's glue and
yes.
like felt, and going, ah, like they
Mm-hmm.
were just learning and experimenting and had no idea what they were doing, which was a beautiful thing to witness, and it still is. But
Right.
now you have all these people that were locked in their house for 3 years,
House
have
arrest.
never competed, so that technically makes them a novice, but they're coming out here with their like 3D printed shit,
I know.
silicone molded shit, like, I drafted this entire pattern and tailored it, and I'm like, my brother in Christ.
Oh, I
You're
know.
not it.
It's
So
absolutely insane. The level.
definitely novice and intermediate have had a total shift. Just because people have had 3 years to sit and just make things
Mm-hmm.
and like study.
Right.
Which isn't to say they still don't experiment and do like interesting things. Like we had a novice at Delta H Con that did a mashup from Chainsaw Man. It was the Bomb Devil, but they made a Yakult Devil, so it was the yogurt.
As the head, a
The head
Yakult bottle.
yogurt, and like the apron was just little Yakult bottles. And
Oh my god.
they made their whole like yogurt head out of chicken wire and like clear tape and a bunch of other like stuff. Like
Mhm.
it had been a while since I'd seen a novice make their costume out of just random shit, and I was like,
That's so nice.
"Mwah."
It's like a
also,
refreshing.
also the concept was like, yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
like
pretty on
that.
par. So, okay, 2018, what did you like, what was that era defined for you, I guess, as, because 2017 was your first delve into like the competition scene within Texas. 2018.
2018 was learning what textures were in costumes.
Okay.
That was when I started moving more into detail-oriented projects or multimedia projects, because there again, brain is soup, but ComicPalooza I entered as Esmeralda, and yes, it's Esmeralda, but I did make the costume texturally different than just the flat block pieces that are in like the Disney movie. So the shirt was made of linen, it had frills, and there was like multicolored and textured fabrics in the corset, and like
Okay.
real coins, stuff like that. Yeah, I think 2019 is. Let's get into 2019. 2019 broke me, I think, and that's also why I was like, we're just gonna do craftsmanship for a while.
What happened there?
Okay. Story time, children. ComicPalooza 2019. I entered as a skit. I entered as
Okay.
Boogie Boogie. Again, because I was like bringing back Nightmare Before Christmas. Did an
Right.
original design that I came up with myself this time. There again, sang, recorded it, made my own choreography. My skit was 3.5 minutes long. This is important to remember.
Okay.
3.5
I don't.
minutes.
How long can skits be today? Like, what's the standard for
It,
that? Is it like a minute and
it
a half?
depends. It depends on the contest, but I think people are starting to adopt the 1.5-minute format. But ComicPalooza still has a 3.5 minutes.
Okay.
And it did at the time. So go to the contest like the day of, go through prejudging, everything's great. I walk up to the volunteer, I'm like, when do we need to like line up back here for the contest? And he's like, oh yeah, be back here by 6:45 because the show starts at 7 or 6:30, something like that. I was like, cool.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was 6:30. Something
Okay.
relatively normal.
Okay.
So we go eat, whatever, come back, we go to line up, and now before I was like, where did the skits go versus the walk-ons? And the volunteer was like, oh yeah, we'll line up beginner, intermediate, advanced skits, because that's how it's always done.
Right.
Always, right? Go to line up, and he's like, okay, everybody line up in the order you signed up.
Wait, in the order you signed up for the contest?
Yes, I was number 2 or 3. Sorry, I was number 3. Skip.
Oh my god. Wait, so it was just like a mishmash of every category in every
Yes.
order.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's wild. Wait, so
Also sticking a pin, this is another important thing I gotta circle back to. So they didn't have us submit our audio online. They told us to bring it in on a flash drive.
no.
So we go to the place to drop off the flash drive. And I'm like, all right, I'm here to drop off my flash drive. And I go to start labeling it or whatever. And the man tells me, oh, you don't need to label it.
How would they know it was yours?
That's a good question.
Was there any did no one ask the
answer is
question?
they don't. You don't. Also, mind you, this contest had over 100 participants. And they
No, it
also
did
allowed
not.
the walk-ons custom audio too.
No, they did. So it was a Home Depot bucket filled with like flash drives, and they were just like reaching their hand in and like
They probably would have better results if they did that. Now jump forward again in time to the contest. So they line us up according to like sign up, and we're like, well, this is fucking weird, but we'll go with it. And then they have us line up outside the auditorium with the doors open, by the way, so the audience can see us. And then we stand there for 45 minutes because the show starts late. Meanwhile, mind you, the first walk-on is this guy dressed as Anubis, like the Greek god. So he's in digitigrade, how do you say it, stilts? And he's
my
standing
god.
there for 45 minutes.
No. Oh my god. That's terrible.
Yeah, okay, so show starts. He goes out. Cool. Person goes on before me. I don't know. I believe they were a skit. I wasn't paying attention. They leave. I go up. I'm like, this is fine. Sure, it's weird. I'm dancing. I get halfway through my skit, and they cut me off.
Wait, time out. First of all, I'm impressed that they actually had your audio. I don't know
Well,
how that
I labeled
happened.
mine.
Oh, you labeled your audio. Okay, gotcha.
This
Yeah,
brain
big
is
brain.
smooth.
Big brain. And then you
So
got
they cut
halfway
me
through and you're like
yeah, they cut
in the
me
middle
off
of the
a minute and a half
number.
in. They cut me off a minute and a half in, and I'm like, ah. Also, another small detail: the MCs were actors.
Like actual actors.
That were guests. They were actors from the tick, and they were asked at the last second, "Hey, do you want to MC the contest?"
Why is it always that way?
They have no fucking clue what's going on, mind you. They're just like, I'm just here vibing. So, fine. Like, where they cut me off in my skit, it's fine. Like, it was at the bridge of the song that Oogie Boogie sings before, like, the end chorus. So, like, it made sense. I was like, sure, whatever. So I leave the stage. The person after me, they go on stage. They are also a skit. I know this individual. We are friends. I know what skit they're doing. They are a female version of Tamatoa from Moana. So purple crab.
Oh, okay.
Okay. They also recorded their own custom dialogue and music and had their own custom choreography. All right. They go up there, and the audio track that starts playing is this blank karaoke track from Moana.
Okay.
And she's up there, and she's like, huh? Huh? And so at first, like, she tries to go with it, and like 30 seconds in, she just goes, like, at the AV team. Now, mind you, this auditorium, there's like 5,000 people in here.
Yeah, no, it's a huge auditorium. Yeah.
Okay. She's like, yelled at them from the stage, "That's not my music. Like, stop." They yell back at her, "Well, that's what we have to do." And
you're gonna
apparently,
get what you're gonna get.
From what I was told, like, again, I have blacked most of it out because it's dramatic. But apparently, I did the exorcism head swivel from, like, the side of the stage, because I was like, excuse me, the fuck what? As she's coming off the stage. And then that's when I go into, you know, gremlin mode, and I find the stage manager. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on? What are y'all doing? Well, as it turns out, the AV team quit right before the contest.
Wait. Why is this a theme at all these conventions? The AV team quitting before the contest.
They just went on strike. So they quit. And it was literally, you know, that meme of the golden retriever in the lab coat? Like, I lied on the resume and I don't know what I'm doing. It was that. There were these poor volunteers in the AV booth just trying to figure their shit out, and they couldn't because none of this audio was fucking labeled.
Wait. So time out.
They were literally YouTubing songs that they thought matched.
Wait. I was gonna ask that. I was like, okay, what are the odds that someone else had a Moana like karaoke?
There
track?
actually was. One of the skits was a legitimate Moana, and she was just like singing. It was a singing skit.
So it was her vocals that they used?
Yeah. Well, no. They allowed
or not her vocals,
singing.
but her. It was her track. Like they took her
it was her track that they played,
and then used it for your friend.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Did your friend's track ever get played?
It did. So, happy ending of the night. They did let me and Tamatoa redo our skits because we got cut off. And that's the other thing, because usually it's done walk-ons to skits. They thought we were just like random walk-ons, so they cut us off in a minute and a half, which is the limit for walk-ons. So
God.
So they did let us like perform our skits at the end. But no, it was a train wreck. This contest ended at like midnight because there were over 100 participants. The music was wrong. Nobody knew it was a skit versus a walk-on. At one point there was a guy that came out and he's like, we don't talk about him because he's problematic, and he's been banned from ComicPalooza's contest. But he comes out and he thinks he's being funny, and he goes, "Oh, stop the music, it's wrong!" And so they literally kick him off the stage in the middle of his routine. And then he tried to be mad about it. I'm like, boy, my girl, you did this to yourself.
I want the video. Is there a video of this contest somewhere?
I hope to God, but probably not.
Wait, the AV team quit. There's probably no video.
No.
Oh my god.
And then I feel mildly bad for the coordinator, only mildly, because then he pulled some dumb shit at OniCon because he was also coordinating for that. Everybody figured out what room he was staying in, and they were literally like sticking pads to his like door of his hotel room, not used, But they were just
Oh,
sticking shit to his door. We were
wait,
like,
this at Onicon?
no,
Wait,
at
did
ComicPalooza.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Like they were
Oh my
harassing
god.
his hotel room. Like, okay, that's not cool. But at the same time though, why did you have us line up in the order? Sign up, my guy.
I have so many questions, but honestly, I don't even care about any of them because this all made for a great story, and I'm happy I didn't have to live through it myself. Although I wish I was an audience member, and I wish I had a bottle of Tito's next to me watching this because that would have
Yeah.
been the
Yeah,
vibe.
I'm pretty sure that that broke me a little bit. So I was like, we're just gonna do walk-ons for a while. No. So one of my friends that I met the previous year, well, Jack Skellington year, they went on and they had their custom audio and it didn't play. And they went out there and it was dead silent. And they looked at one of the MCs and they go, "It's not worth it." And they just walk off. And you can hear the digital fucking music. There's
This was
nothing.
all. Wait, this was literally ComicPalooza. Like this is multiple different years.
2019, yeah.
How come whenever we were there last year, it was so easy? It was like so like smooth. We didn't
Different coordinator. Obviously, I'm not going to name him because anonymity, but the
right.
guy that was coordinating at the time very clearly, obviously got, axed after that.
Yeah.
But then he coordinated for Onicon, and allowed a sandbagger to win Best in Show, even after being told they were a sandbagger before they walked. Like, he was told before the
What year was
contest.
that? 2019.
2019.
Oh my god.
He was told before the contest that they were a sandbagger, and he goes, "Oh well, there's nothing I can do about it." I'm like, yes, there fucking is. You DQ him. Like,
What could we possibly do? It's out of our hands. It's in God hands. It's in
I just
God's
don't
hands now.
know. Oh, yeah. So I don't know where he is now, but I certainly hope he's not running contests.
Oh my
Just
god. Maybe he can be hired by never mind. Anyway, so actually on that note, I want to pivot to cosplay programs and cosplay tracks and cosplay contests because
yes,
you have a lot of experience doing those things like
yes.
coordinating a cosplay track at a convention.
Mhm.
Can you talk about that for a little bit? Because I've never personally volunteered in a cosplay department or coordinated a costume contest, and I would love to know like your opinions on like best practices, experiences that you've had, and like just generally what goes into like putting on a cosplay contest, organizing cosplay related panels and content, getting guests, like all of that. I want you to just pontificate about it because I want to listen and learn.
All right. So for starters, it is a lot of legwork. If you are not a logistical person, it is not for you because you're literally like in a corporate management type position where you have to like not necessarily like physically call people, but you have to reach out to companies if you want prizes, or you have to reach out to sponsors. You have to talk to guests. You have to talk to the con head and like go to meetings. As far as like my approach to coordinating a cosplay track, my focus is obviously very craftsmanship focused. So I try to curate programming that's going to draw in craftsmanship type cosplayers, as opposed to, it any other specific subset.
Sure.
So generally speaking, in choosing guests, what I like to do, if I'm allowed, three is usually a good like minimum, so that way you have a tiebreaker. If it is three, I try to have a single needlework judge or a multimedia judge, a foam judge, and a performance judge. So that way
Okay.
it's well rounded and you can you have a toe dipped in every water.
Okay, so someone
Uh
that's more like sewing garment heavy, someone that's maybe more prop armor heavy, and then someone that at least
mhm,
has like a performance background and experience there. Like some
correct.
mixture of those, because like not everyone's gonna
Yeah,
fall into one of those things, right? But
correct.
someone that
Yeah.
has experience there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Or like for example, I'm a multimedia crafter, but I also have performance.
Hmm.
Like there's people that do multiple things.
So you could
Of
fit that
course,
like performance like section if you needed to.
yeah. So
Yeah.
like for example, if I was marketing myself to guest at a convention and I see that they don't have a performance guest yet, I can market myself as that.
Gotcha.
Um the other big thing about coordinating is finding balance and inclusivity.
Hmm.
And I'm going to be completely honest. That is very difficult to find here in Texas. That's nobody's fault. But it's very difficult to find somebody that is not a conventionally attractive petite white girl. Again, that is nobody's fault. But it's really hard.
Mhm.
We try to have at least somebody that has knowledge, and again, this is for the crafting side of things and what they can offer for panels or workshops. Somebody that's familiar with plus size bodies or more non, less typical AFAB body types, so they have
Mhm.
like a wider knowledge to share, because not everybody has the same body type. It's nice to see somebody that,
Right.
doesn't
Has
have the same
experience
body
in that
type.
area. Yeah.
Um, we try to have at least one by POC judge. I can't talk. Again, because inclusivity, representation, you don't know who's gonna come to that show and see that judge and go, "Wow, I can do that too."
Right.
And they're not gonna know that they can unless they see that judge.
Mhm.
And again, somebody that is also preferably in the alphabet soup category.
Who? We
Which
don't know
actually,
them.
yeah,
Who is
which
that?
who could that be? Which actually, fun fact, the demographic for the 2022 show, the entrance, I would say, as far as pronouns go, I would say about 85% of the entrants were definitely alphabet soup. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, Onicon is like alphabet soup heavy, like in a good way. So we try to have a equal footing somewhere to get, equal representation. I think every con should try to do that, to
But I
be
imagine
honest,
also,
because
yeah, I think with because for your experience being a convention cosplay coordinator, you're primarily bringing in guest judges, not
Mhm.
necessarily cosplay guests, right?
Correct. Yeah, they do
Okay.
both.
They end up doing both, which a lot of times that is the case. And then some cons will bring in, just okay, you're going to be a judge, and then sometimes they bring in, okay, you're just going to be a cosplay guest. You can do panels and like have a booth and such. But like
Mhm.
sometimes those are distinguished from each other. Sometimes they're the same. But I imagine that when you're trying to fill these 3 to 4 spots with diverse sets of skills and also
Mhm.
diverse experiences based off of who they are as people, that must be very hard.
It is. Like I said, especially when you are locally in a place where most of the prominent people on social media or that are marketing themselves as guests don't fit your criteria. Just to be blunt, they just don't. They
Hmm.
don't fit the exact criteria. Because I know for a fact there are people out there that craft, that probably compete, that would make great judges. They're just not on fucking Instagram. Where are you? Wow.
Where are
um,
you? No, I'm good.
yes. Um, because yeah, but then also back to the corporate thing, there are a lot of people in other states that I would love to invite or we would love to showcase, but there's this thing called budget.
Right.
So if you want to have actual prizes, like unlike WePon, you have to, keep some of that budget for prizes.
Oh,
Um,
pause. I have a fun
yeah.
anecdote and it's so quick. I was part of a I don't know what to call it. It was kind of like a consulting body for a
Mhm.
convention, small convention. And they were trying to figure out what prizes to get for their contestants.
Right.
And one of the most serious option that they had for prizes was in addition to a physical award, which is I think, the bare minimum and it's, something that should be had. They said they were going to give people bubbles, like
Like
blowing bubbles with a wand.
why?
And they said, we're
Why?
going to give each person a pack of bubbles to go with their award. And I literally thought they were joking. When I realized they weren't, I said, it is so much better to not give them bubbles. Just give them nothing.
Just don't. Just don't.
Just give them their award. Do
You
not
know
give.
what?
Anyway,
I think WeebCon could have benefited by giving bubbles. Here's your prize.
well, and something that literally costs nothing to the convention is to give a badge for next year. Like, there's
Yeah.
indirect cost associated, but like pales in comparison to anything
Yeah,
else.
no. Well, not only that, but it also retroactively, and I like Anime Frontier for doing this, is where they give you a badge for being in the competition because you are
Hmm.
programming.
Right,
But it kind of retroactively invites them back to do it again if you give them a
right. No, it
badge.
does.
Or if
Yeah,
nothing else, it just invites them back. Like,
to
you get a free
attend.
badge. Yeah.
attend, spend money, you know, be a part of the
Yeah,
convention.
bring your friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yep.
But
Um,
going back to the budget piece, because I mean,
mhm,
on that note, obviously there is a budget. Every convention is different. Depending on the size of the convention, you have different budgets and different means. And
mhm,
I'm sure that's something you probably have to take into account too, is if we have a budget to bring someone in from Oregon,
yeah.
we have to have
Idaho.
right, Idaho, we have to have maybe the other two be somewhere within driving distance,
Correct.
because it's like we are allocating budget, not in a necessarily an equal way, but we have to make sure to get them all here some way. I'm sure that comes
Correct.
up too, right?
Oh yes, correct. Yeah, that's the other thing specifically is you try to have primarily local cosplayers so that way the cost to bring them in is a lot less because obviously you're just reimbursing for gas instead of a flight, which I
Right.
mean depending on where they're driving from, it might as well be a flight. you
Yeah,
know.
Dallas to Galveston, that should be a flight.
Yeah, well I mean
No,
you
but
could fly actually to
I
Hobby.
have I
Yeah,
have
from
it's
Dallas to
not the
Hobby.
best. It's kind of stupid,
No.
but
I was gonna say
um
at that point it is probably easier to just drive.
yeah, no, it is.
um
But yeah, with the budget piece too. So, in your opinion, like, what do you? We talked about this a few episodes ago, but like, just in general, for if you're a cosplay program coordinator or a convention that's wanting to have a cosplay track, and you're wanting to
mhm,
bring in guest talent, guest judges, or cosplay guests in general. Like,
mhm.
what do you think is the requirement that you have to be able to basically budget for as a con to bring them adequately?
I think the minimum you should be doing, like the bare minimum, is providing them a place to fucking sleep. Like, if I have to drive 2 minimum hours to be at your event all day from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., where the fuck am I gonna go? Back home? Like, what are you doing? I
Yeah.
personally, I personally am not. I don't care about the food per diem because, like I said, chronically ill, can't eat anything. So I'm like, I don't fucking care. But paying
Just
my
don't eat,
gas,
just vibe.
yeah, yeah, it's fine. I'm just here to vibe. I feed off the souls of the sadness of everybody. I'm like Colin from What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh
Anyways,
my god.
like paying for travel and paying for a place to stay, like
Mhm.
bare minimum. If you
Right.
have the budget, please pay them. Like you know, they are providing you a service. They are taking
Right.
time out of their lives to, camp out for 3 days potentially, and work your gig. Like,
Right.
pay them.
They're working for the convention, like
Yeah,
however you put it.
they are literally working. It's not like a volunteer where you only have so many hours you have to work and then you're free to do as you will with that badge. No, a guest and or judge is like a slave to their table and prejudging in the contest the whole time.
Yeah, literally
Like,
until like maybe like 9 p.m. or something.
or
Then
they
it's like,
should
oh.
be, or they should be. So,
um yeah, no, and something else I thought of too is, even if, and I just thought of this right now, even if you don't have the budget necessarily to pay like a appearance fee or something like that, something that, I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen at a convention before, but like the sponsors that are providing things for the contest, like
yeah.
hypothetically those could be given to the judges as a thank you as well, like
Yep.
something from the con, it's like some type of sponsorship like
Yeah.
thing, right?
Give them a goodie bag.
Yeah, like, why not?
Give them a
That's like
VIP
something.
swag bag.
Yeah. Oh, and then something else that that Anime Frontier did is that they said, "Oh, these are our sponsors. When you use these, if you could like tag them and like give them a shout out, that'd be great, because then we can like get returning sponsors because you're giving them more
Yeah.
traffic." And like, yeah, that's like a great idea.
Yeah, exactly.
No, and then like, I guess, what have been some of the most, I guess, challenging parts of, like, aside from like you've talked about some of the difficult aspects, but like in your personal experience, what have been some of like the most challenging elements of trying to organize a cosplay like program track at a convention?
Um, serious answer.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I want both. I want the
secure.
dumb bullshit answer and the serious.
I'm gonna give you both. I'm gonna give you the serious one and the salty one. Serious one is actually securing prizes
Oh yeah.
because a lot of companies like that I have reached out to for prizes for sponsored prizes are like, No.
Oh, really?
Even
Are
though
they
we're an
like
LLC, even though the con is an LLC, they're like, no.
are these like sponsors you're reaching out to sometimes, like actual like presences? Are they established companies in the cosplay
Yes.
scene?
And they
And
are
they've like
established companies that people use in the cosplay scene. I'm not gonna say who they are, obviously, but like tools and accessories. We'll just say that.
oh, interesting. Okay. So they'll just reject you. Will they give like a
Mm-hmm.
reason or will they just say no?
No, they just say no.
Oh, okay.
Now I will say one on the flip side of that. Um, RIP high fashion fabrics, but
Oh
going
yeah.
to the local brick and mortar stores like in the Houston area or in like the general like Tri-City area, they're actually usually more apt to work with you to provide a prize of some kind because then obviously that draws business to them. So I have done that in the
Hmm.
past. But again,
Okay.
that requires legwork because you actually have to go shake somebody's hand and go, "Hi, I'm so and so from so and so. We do this contest. It facilitates X amount of people, and we want to like see if you have any sponsored prizes you want to give us, so that way we can, give you business essentially."
Right.
Um, but yeah, getting prizes. The salty answer: people not understanding how to fucking read.
Like like the content like read the cosplay contest signups, read
Yeah,
like
yeah, reading the
their
rules. Simply just
just
reading
read.
the rules. Like, if you could just read the rules, that would answer your question.
Oh
We
my
wouldn't have a
god.
problem if you would just read the rules.
Do people ever I mean people obviously break the rules all the time, but like do you get like what kind of questions have you gotten about like the contest or the rules that you can
Oh,
remember off the top of
just
your
the
head?
basic stupid shit. When did the sign-ups open? I don't know. Did you look on the website?
How do they find is it like is that like on the convention's website it says like contact like cosplay at whatever whatever or do they find you
Yeah,
on like
well, okay, so there's a cosplay email for the con, and then that I obviously check that.
yeah.
Um, no, one thing and I'm like, mm, but again, I'm like, if you would have just read the rules, there would be a problem. And it's more of like you're a thorn in my side. So, you know how WeebCon,
Not oh my god.
I'm going somewhere with this. They gave the walk-ons performance awards,
Yes, they
and some of
did.
the skits got mad. Okay,
Yes.
well, their rules did not specifically state they were skit awards. They were
Right.
performance awards. They go to
Right.
anybody.
Right.
Onicon's rules last year were the exact same way. Although it
Mhm.
specifically said performance can go to anyone. It's best performance overall.
And I
Okay?
think I have been in positions judging where the performance from the walk on in a specific level was honestly on par, if not exceeded, that of the actual skit itself. I've been
Yeah,
in judgings like that.
and that's what happened. We had a group walk on that literally put on like a 3-part 30-second play for the judges on stage in
Hmm.
character. Like they did a mini skit.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it. I saw a recording after the fact and I was like, good shit, mate. Um, and so the performance judge was like, "Can we give this to anybody?" I was like, "Yeah, it literally says in the rules." Like, well, so they gave it to the walk-on, and we actually had um 2 of the skits that entered come up after the show and try to give me and my co-coordinator a hard time about it because shouldn't the performance award go with skit? I'm like, well, not to sound mean, but A, get good. Uh, B, it literally, did you read? Did you read the
Yeah.
rules? There's rules!
You got to read the rules.
Yeah, like, not trying to be malicious, but like, it's literally in the rules. Like,
Because
we
because
want.
the written rules are what everyone's coming in with the established baseline understanding. The judges are coming with that understanding, the coordinators are coming with that understanding, and the contestants should be coming with that understanding. And they're getting the rules and they're even asking questions. And they should be asking questions and saying, hey, can we, like that person said, give this award? And if you are befuddled or baffled by the fact that this happened, go online and like check the rules. And if you
Yes.
have the receipts that say, "Oh, this shouldn't have happened," then
If
form your
you
little
have,
pitchfork. Then
yeah.
form your pitchfork army, get your torches, and then go find them. But otherwise,
Well, and that's the thing. That's actually, in Omicron specifically, that's why we changed it at the time. It's changing again. surprises I can't share. It's confidential. Um, we specifically made it performance overall, so that way it was an equal footing, kind of like Best in Show. Best in Show can go to anybody.
Right.
Craftsmanship can go to anybody. The only award that is specifically geared towards novices is Best Rookie, and that like it's specifically give it to somebody that doesn't do this.
Sure.
The others can go to literally anybody, and we did
Mm-hmm.
that because there are no categories really at Onicon. Is kind of like Delta H Con, where it's kind of like an open category.
Mm.
And we wanted to make it, more equal where, a novice, intermediate, or master could win any of these awards. It's not necessarily they were shoehorned in because of their category. They got the award because they were that good,
Mm-hmm.
That was the thought. But then it was soiled because people can't read.
Oh my god. Okay. Something I alluded to much earlier in the podcast when we first started, but we have to talk about is the icon that you are of going absolutely off on the Instagram stories
Yes,
about whatever you want.
it's
Because it's
correct.
your profile and not
It's
their
true.
profile.
It's
I
true.
wanna talk about what started that, because at this point it's almost a feeling of disappointment when I go to your story and you're not
There
going
isn't one in
off.
there. Yeah.
I no, literally, I'm like, oh, it's just Rumple's just sharing someone's stuff. Like, ugh, annoying.
Oh,
And then, but
and
then when I
being
see
wholesome.
you,
Ew.
when I see the camera and it's down, and you're like, all right, that's when I know I gotta sit down, gotta turn my volume on, and I gotta get ready. What started that?
Clearly something I was pissed off about. Like, so again, for those that aren't aware, I am autistic and I'm neurospicy. So I will see something, okay? Let's say a topic. Let's just pick off the grapevine anime monster. I'll see something that will piss me off. But I can't formulate into words exactly why I'm pissed off. So I literally
Uh-huh.
have to think about it. And as stew, the gears have to grind.
You take
And
a big
then,
spoon and stir the big
yep,
pot in your
yep,
brain.
yep, yep, big spoon in big pot. And then finally, when it all clicks into place, I gotta get it out. I gotta
Mm-hmm.
tell somebody. And usually, there's no way to tell. So there's my phone. So just put it out there. And so that's how it started. It started with me just like sharing my thoughts essentially,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just kept going from there. And it died off for a while because I was carpooling with people. Like they didn't have a ride, so I was taking them with me. I'm like, I don't think this my random coworker wants to listen to me bitch about
Oh, I thought you
the
were gonna say.
convention's
I thought
needs.
you were gonna say. I don't think this carpool situation is gonna work. You're invading my time.
Yeah,
I
you're invading my story time.
I need to reclaim my space for
But
my moment.
also there again, the pandemic. Like I can't see things and get pissed if there's nothing happening.
Hmm. That's true.
So a lot of that died down because there was nothing happening.
Hmm.
Um and there again, for the most part, a lot of the things that are happening, I'm not there to witness. Like I will share other people's experiences, but I don't really have much to weigh in on because I wasn't there or I
Right.
didn't see a lot of it. Um But yeah, no, that's how that started. There was I had a brain worm and I had to like let it out. And then it
Do you have
just
any? Do you
went
have
from
anything
there.
you want to go off about right now?
Not really, no. My brain is soup. I've been drinking.
The between the technical
Oh,
issues
I
beforehand and the
yeah, no, I was definitely Mystery Science 3000 in y'all's the WeedCon like episode. I was like
oh my
even
god.
the
Oh my god.
so
That's honestly, oh Jesus Christ.
I
You
haven't
know,
had. Okay, now it's my turn to join in on that.
mhm.
All right, the mock Instagram story time. Like, damn, they really said let's go for Monster Cloud. Okay, we got the investor defrauding. We got the promising VIPs and not giving them shit. We got the no AC. We got the fucked up contest. We got the Nazi. The only thing they're missing is the Anne Frank smut. That's the only thing.
Stop! Not
Oh,
oh
you
my
didn't know about
god.
that?
No, what is that? I don't wanna know. Don't tell me.
I mean, it's very easy. The Nazi that showed up at Anniversary 2019 hijacked a panel that was supposed to be canceled and went in dressed as a Nazi and read Anne Frank's butt. That was it. That was the incident.
Well, there you have it.
That's the only thing we've caused missing.
Oh my god. And, well, Jesus.
Yeah.
I think there's one more thing they're missing, but, we're not gonna talk about that man. So, the rants are excellent. I wanna know, about any cursed convention experiences or memories that first come to your mind, aside from the plethora and the bounty that you've already provided to this wonderful program. And I will start to give you some time to think of some, if none are immediately
No, I
coming to
don't
your
need
mind.
time. I
Okay,
have
well,
the
I'm
phone
gonna
in my
go first with
pocket.
mine because I need to get this
Okay.
out. So, okay, it was IkiCon. I think it was IkiCon 2019, and it was at the Arboretum Hotel north of Austin, and there was a room party that was happening.
Oh boy.
And yeah, oh, it was a room party. It was a room party. And they're like, "Oh, it's a room party and we can go because we were friends of a friend that was hosting this party." I will say I knew this person and we were friendly. I was not like best friends by any means with this person. I wasn't even as close friends as I am with like, anyone, but I was really good friends with the people that were really good friends with him. Oh, it's a room party. I'm like, okay, let's go. And at that point, up to that point in time, I didn't really know that this person had a reputation for throwing absolute like madness. Like, I don't really know the better word to describe it, but like these room parties were not really room parties. They were like freaking sensory
Razors.
experiences. I don't even
Yeah.
know. Yeah. So we go, we're like, okay, let's go. That'll be cute. I had my little box wine. I was fun. I was good. So I went up to this room party. First of all, the door was closed and there were vines hanging down from the top of the door frame to the floor. And there was a sign on the door on the outside that I'm pretty sure said, "Beware of ogre." Like, beware of
Like
ogre.
Shrek.
Like Shrek. Oh, here
Okay.
we go. We open the door. Bam, like a haze, a thick heat hits us in the face. A heat like I've never felt before. A heat like if you're in Houston in the middle of July and you open up your door out of the AC, that kind of thick heat hits us in the face. There's probably like 100 human beings in this suite. It was a suite. It wasn't just a room, it was a suite.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
100 human beings. Dark, no lights, dim,
Mhm.
like maybe like a small little light in the corner, like in the haze, almost like a fog machine. Walls, head, floor to ceiling, vines and greenery. And the smell, girl, the smell. And so I literally take one step in there and look around, and it's debauchery and madness. Aside from the ambiance, people were literally on the floor. I was literally there for maybe 5 seconds before I literally yeeted out of
Wait,
there. I was like,
no.
I cannot. No, I literally ran away. Oh, and they were handing out like drinks, like freaking like Jello shots and things that were like literally open containers. And I'm like, children, if you don't know where the liquor came from, do not drink the liquor. Unless it came from your room, from a bottle you brought, or you're buying it from a bar that you saw, do not drink it. So I was like, okay, I'm good. Um, that being said, I don't know how long people stayed there. I literally left. I was like, I can't be in here purely from the smell and the stench of it all. And then as a addendum to that, when I went to KatsuCon one year, there was a fairy godmother, full head to
Like
toe fairy
Shrek.
godmother from Shrek, Shrek 2, and she had the wig, she had the wand, she had the moves, and from somewhere I Need a Hero was like permeating into the atrium, and she was literally in the middle of a dance circle, like breaking it down. And then they had people like literally like doing like tricks on the floor around her while it was insane. Anyway, those are my top two that come to mind. What is one of yours?
So first off, Zach, I don't know how to tell you this. You didn't walk into a room party. You walked into a hell portal.
A hell portal, a
That's
DreamWorks
hell
hell
portal.
portal.
Yeah, yeah. You just Okay. I have quite a few actually. Most of them I have witnessed. They have not happened to me, or I have not been a part of.
Okay.
But here's to start. The first one that I was a part of, OniCon 2019. I was there with friends. We were waiting for the J Fashion show, as one does, because they are into J Fashion. I was dressed as Ciri from The Witcher 3 that day, but changed out, kind of. I
Okay.
basically took the wig off and was Egg. But I didn't bring any clothes, so I wore tights and the boots. And I went and bought a t-shirt from the artist alley, and it was this white t-shirt with an alien on the front that says, drinking like something that says Jushi on it. And it's like 4 sizes too big.
Wait, and
Okay.
your head was Egg.
Yeah, I'm Egg. Yeah, with a
Okay.
scar. Like, full cosplay makeup, but Egg. We're sitting there waiting for the J Fashion show. And my friend goes, hey, do you want some wine? Because they snuck in a can of wine from Kroger.
Live.
In fact, they snuck a whole bunch of food in. So we're waiting. Now, mind you, I haven't eaten all day.
Right.
I drank a whole can of fucking wine.
Oh.
I'm shit-faced.
the done up Egg with the oversized t-shirt and the boots was shit faced at the J Fashion show.
We go to the J Fashion show and we're sitting in the back because they're eating and they don't want to get found out. And I'm like, because I'm drunk. And during the fashion show, like the last half of it, they start playing the Swan Lake Suite as like the walk music.
Did you lose it?
I lost it. I go, oh my gosh, guys! I vault over the chairs into the back of the audience and start doing the fucking Swan Lake Suite choreography.
In Egg.
Look off my ass in Egg.
And you're like back. And you're like in the back of the.
Yeah,
okay, did anyone see you?
Probably not because the lights were down. But they're sitting there like, oh my fucking god.
So you were feeling your oats in the back.
I was vibing to the Swan Lake Suite. Okay. Just woke off my ass. Also shout out to the Nerd Less Troop that con for like making me question my sexuality because I was also drunk and I watched this and I was like, wow, women are hot. So
that surely that wasn't the first time. No.
Yeah, so that was like the cursed experience I did myself. Another cursed experience was actually Anime Frontier.
This past year?
And it wasn't in the con, it was in the hotel. Also involved drunk people. We had just got back from dinner. Me, a couple of friends, one of which is this very highly attractive non-binary individual. And they were the only one that dressed up for dinner. They're a goth, okay? So they had a piece of picture. They're like 6 foot, like long black hair. They were wearing this black top that like, open front so their chest is out. They've had top surgery. They're showing it off. They're like feeling themselves, okay? And they're like, everybody else looks like shit, like gremlin mode.
Right,
barely,
like as you are after the end of the day.
Just out of egg in a hoodie. We get into our hotel, into the lobby, and there's a bar in the lobby. And there's these people there, a husband and wife. And the wife gets up. We're waiting for our elevator. She gets up. She's like, drunkenly stumbles over to our ragtag goblin group with the hot elf. The hot vampire elf. And she's like, can I get a picture with you at the hot one? And like, we're all like, okay. But when she goes to grab them, it's just like face in titty.
My god.
In like chest, open chest. And she's like smashing her own tits into them. They're like, and then she like gets really close, like she's gonna try to like kiss them.
What was the husband doing? Or like whoever they were with?
The husband was walking up with the camera and yelling, show me some tit! So the wife looks at him and literally flashes him.
In the lobby?
The hotel lobby. And so then he's all, now she, like, not full flash, like, just the bra, just underwear.
Oh, just the bra. Just the bra.
But, like, he keeps going. He's trying to egg on, and the guy in the bar, like, the bartender's like, please don't. To call the cops. Like, stop it.
And what was your group doing? Just, like, watching this all unfold?
Yeah, we're all just kind of standing there, like, fuck. Yeah, and so then our elevator showed up, and we escaped these people. And got to our room and we're like, what the hell did we just experience? So that was cursed. And then this
That
is my Roman. This one right here is my Roman Empire. Just so you know. Butt plug girl. PRF 2020.
No, what is this?
I have a photo of it somewhere. Again, the internet is eternal. There was somebody, because this was during lockdown, so there wasn't a ton of people at TRF, so you couldn't miss this person. They show up to TRF in a micro mini skirt, wearing a butt plug attached to a tail. And they were bending over every chance they got.
What were they? What were they dressed as?
Oh, they were just in like a micro mini tartan mini skirt and like a mesh top or something with ears, like an e-girl. They were just dressed as an e-girl at TRF.
Is that it? That's the story?
That's it. Yeah, with a butt plug. And there's photos of it everywhere. We were roasting her, and I think about it all the time. I'm like, I wonder what butt plug girl is. She wore it all day, apparently.
I would have asked
Like,
for her
they were camping.
social media.
Like, they were camping, okay? They were there from sun up to sundown and then beyond.
No. Oh
and
my
that tail was there the
god.
whole time, and people were like, is she okay?
And you must have gotten a really good view to like know that it wasn't just like, you know,
Oh,
a tail.
yeah. Like I said, she kept bending over every chance she got. There are photos. There are
She
so
wanted
many
to show it
photos.
off. Good lord.
Yeah,
Good
so
lord.
that's my Roman Empire. Because I'm like, where is she? What is she doing?
What year was that?
2020. Lockdown. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think they have another TRF meme. She was the TRF meme for a long time. The guy before that was the porta potty guy that got locked in overnight. He was drunk and fell asleep on the toilets, and they locked him in. To the toilets. The restrooms are locked at TRF, by the way.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Why does this place sound like unlawful?
It is, because it is.
Okay.
Chaos.
We need to go to our guest question. It's a pretty short question, actually. But I think it was kind of appropriate for you specifically.
All right.
Hi, Cosplay Crunch. If you were trying to bring forth a being, aka your special guest, Rumpel, what 3 tools, materials, or costumes would be used in the summoning circle to bring them forth?
Obviously a sewing machine.
The one from 1970 from the garage sale?
Yeah, because it's possessed, because it's cursed. It's a
Do you still
relic.
have it? Do you still have it?
I threw that shit away.
We'll have to go find it.
It broke. In realness, it broke, and it was more expensive to get it fixed than just buy a new one. So I threw it away.
Okay.
Obviously sewing machine, because that's, you know.
Will a singer heavy duty work in its place?
Yes. Exactly. My Husqvarna with the cringy Sonic sticker on it.
Oh my god. I learned what Sonic Sonichu was. We're not talking about that. I learned what that was yesterday for the first time. We're not talking about that.
So you are rabbit truly. Second would probably be puppy sleeves.
Oh,
because I'm
yeah.
a slut for puppy sleeves, as you know.
Are. Yeah, the first time I saw your costume in person was the beautiful strawberry, and I was like poking them. What's inside?
I could float because puff. Tools. I guess that's like style. I guess other would
materials.
Be like materials. Good God. I kind of like sewing bridal satin, which is probably weird because everybody hates bridal satin. So, yeah. Knits.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm scared of knits. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm scared of stretch materials, which is kind of funny because, like, I was for the longest time was scared to touch anything with stretch because I thought, like, I was used to taking a measurement and then replicating that measurement with a non-stretch fabric, and I like knew that. But like with stretch material, it's not the way.
Yeah, stretch material you have to have like negative ease or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it stretches. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna say bridal satin knits, poofy sleeves, and a sewing machine. We'll accept a newer singer, but preferably the 1970 model.
Preferably the first one that I bought from a garage sale. Yeah.
Those are great answers. What would your like opening line be whenever you puff up in fire and brimstone? What would you say?
Why the fuck am I here? Why did you wake me up?
No, it would be a phone. It'll be an Instagram story on a phone that pops up, and it's like, ah!
Yeah, or just my goofing.
Oh my god, it was such a pleasure to have you, Rumpel, on this show. I dare say it will not be the last. I've had so much fun. No, absolutely not.
Maybe next time I'll have Google Chrome installed.
Oh my god, we'll get you hooked up. We'll like do a whole remedial session for you. That way we can get you prepared.
No, when you get a higher budget, you gotta get the round table setting where we're all just chilling on tables. No, chilling on couches and in person.
No, seriously, like that's the joke. I have like an office I use for a home office, but I'm like, what if I just like turn that into a podcast recording studio and just had friends over? That would be cute. Wouldn't be very conducive to my actual job that I do every day, but I think it'd be a better use of the space.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Cosplay Crunch. If you'd like to ask a question to one of our guests, please email us at cosplaycrunchpod@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Instagram at Cosplay Crunch Podcast for the latest podcast news and announcements, as well as on cosplaycrunch.com and on YouTube at the Cosplay Crunch Podcast. Rumpel. Oh, one more thing. Rate us, please, if you liked the show. If you loved hearing all of our stories and antics, give us 5 stars. And if you didn't like the show, close your phone and don't come back. Rumpel, do you have any parting words for our guests, and where can we find you on social media?
We'll start with social media. I'm primarily active on Instagram, which is going to be Rumpelstilt _ Seam. It's contagious, that not being able to talk. I'm also on the soon to be banned TikTok. Rumplestilt Seam, all one word. I'm on Twitter. I have a Twitter.
Yeah, same. I have a Twitter. It exists, but
it is there. Same thing. Rumpelstilt Seam. And closing thoughts. Read the fucking rules. It's a reading comprehension.
And reading is fundamental.
Reading is fundamental. But anyways, you needed a chaotic one. But yes,
I did.
Also, thank you for having me. This has been great. Yeah.
Well,
hope it's entertaining.
Honey.
Did I entertain you? Yeah. So.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, until next time, we will talk to you later. Goodbye. The Cosplay Crunch podcast is hosted by Zavage Cosplay, with post-production also by Zavage Cosplay. Original theme music by Katie Fairbanks. Logo and graphic design by Owl and Coffee.